So hello and welcome back to the channel, and yes, welcome to this second installment of the special events that I'll be running throughout this season, season 2. And as you can see, we're going to be looking at the Mercedes GT3 or AMG GT3 2020 car at Imola. Another one at Imola. Yes, I'm very keen to do a few more at Imola as well, but managing to get into 6th place through this event. Definitely a 3rd place spot available within this setup, and we'll take a look at that towards the end of the video. Definitely a few things that I wanted to pick up on throughout this video really with regards to this car, and just how it took me a little bit of time to get used to how this car actually moves around the circuit. Yeah, one of the main things that really struck me really was how to change gear in this car really. And it sounds kind of stupid. Generally I would wait just to get the gear to sort of max out, but you would always be looking at the dashboard to see obviously the red lights engaging towards the end of the gear really. But as soon as that engages, it's quite a way down the rev limiter really before the end, before you sort of hitting the end of the rev limiter. It goes all the way up to almost 8,000 RPM, and yet the indicator sort of comes in just around the 7,000 mark, but there's still so much to come within the gear, I think. So something that I will point out throughout this video. A number of occasions I also found myself so much on the edge of grip. It really did feel like I was sort of in the zone, I think, but it was so much on the edge. I don't know if drivers can drive like that consistently, but it was in that state of no grip at all, but still managing to stay on the circuit. It was a very difficult car to get my head around driving this car, to be honest. But yeah, it was certainly an enjoyable session. I think I probably spent about 2 hours during this session to set the lap time that I did, and totally take my hat off to all the guys in the 141s. I wish I could have joined you, but I just couldn't seem to put the whole lap together. So you're just joining me here on probably one of the earlier laps really. And as you can see, the topping out the rev limiter, and we're hitting 163 miles per hour as we approach there in 6th gear. Now, moving forward a little bit and rejoining the fastest lap that I was able to post, you can see here that I really do hold out all the gear, all the way up in 4th gear to about 240 kilometers an hour, and then we're still maxing out at 163 miles per hour without even going up into 6, which makes coming into the first few corners much easier to just drop down 3 gears or 2 gears down to 2nd gear. And as you can see, approaching this next set of corners as well, earlier in the session I'm coming all the way down to 2nd gear to make it through this corner. Definitely something that's not needed to do really. Still going a little bit too wide through this corner. Definitely need to hook up that corner much better, but as you can see, going further, I'm just coming down to 3rd gear really. It is a fine balance to hold 3rd gear through there. Again, just running far too wide on that corner. As you can see later in, or you'll see later in the video, that I do manage to set a far better first sector than that. But carrying on with this lap, this was the fastest lap that I was able to set. I think I'd made a few tiny adjustments to the fast bump during this initial run. It just seemed to handle the curbs a little bit better, especially over this next set through this little chicane. Probably the fastest I've been through this little chicane before. Definitely just seemed to carry loads of speed through there. I must have hit it absolutely perfectly. I think if I'd have done that on the fastest lap that I was able to sort of set really up until that point, I'd probably be looking at a 3rd place position right now, definitely into the 141s, but there's definitely a 141 available in this setup. It really is just a case of putting that lap together. Again, it's also the case of whether you start on totally fresh tyres or you start on a slightly flatter set, I suppose, when it comes to the tyre pressures themselves. But as you can see, just looking at a few little outtakes really, time and time again you come through these corners and you're just trying to carry as much speed as you can, and we are only human. Even these alien drivers that set crazy lap times, you know, you've tried and you've tried and tried, and you've ran as far as you can wide, you've taken as much speed as you can, and you're just trying to find every single millisecond to better your lap time. But it really is an exploration of what the circuit is available to give, and as you'll see in this sort of fastest lap I was able to get, really just how much more there is available from this setup. It's definitely worth persevering if you're able to set hours of hot lapping. There is definitely a faster lap in this setup. So just getting a lap underway then, you'll see as we come through this next set of corners, it's just so neat really. Keeping third gear, as soon as we're through the corner, flat on the power, braking just at the board on the right hand side there, getting the car really nicely slowed down, no real wheel spin on the exit, nice power up the hill, and just getting that momentum through the car. It's so easy to light the rear tyres up on the exit of that corner. Nice braking through this section, mounting the curb on the left hand side, and just flatten the power as soon as I'm able to. Through this section, just taking a nice wide entry, get the car nice and straight, manage to carry as much speed as I can through this through the exit there as well. A little bit of a wobble, but here's where I just lose it really. I'm up nearly half a second and I just go too tentatively through there, just trying to not ruin the lap, and I lose so much time. I just found it so frustrating, just looking at the lap delta in the top left corner to see that I'd lost nearly half a second through that one corner. And then things start to get a little bit erratic through this last section, just trying to get it back, and I just know it's just not going to happen. But yeah, that's the setup, guys. I'll not go into too much detail looking through it, but as you can see, everything there is plain to see. I've obviously run a number of set of tyres, definitely almost through the set of tyres, 50 sets of tyres, so I've had a good number of attempts. But yeah, just lowering out the fast bump there really did make a difference over that last set of curbs. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning into the channel. I know things have been a little bit quiet with this renovation work still in progress, but please do keep visiting the channel, like and subscribe, and until next time, you know the score. Ciao for now.